and she's my realtor slash lawyer slash health assistant.
Just realtor and help.
Huh?
Just realtor and help.
This realtor and health. Okay. I noticed when I called the case that you didn't really hear me call your name.
Yeah,
You
I'm
need
pretty deaf.
You
I'm
need
sorry.
some equipment to help you.
Is there a speaker?
Well, hold on. Let's try this so that you can.
Yeah, I get hearing aids and I lose them. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You got it?
Yeah, that's great. I wish I had it in real life.
Your eyes got real big when all of a sudden it's like you could hear me.
That's right.
Okay. Can you tell me your name?
Dave McLeod, 10949. I'm 75. Live at 1987 Noel Bend. Been there 20 years.
All right. Okay. How much is owing on this account?
I'm sorry?
I'm asking the attorney.
Oh, okay.
Your Honor, what's the case number on this one?
Case number on this one is, it ends in 2095. It's 251C 2095 LT.
Oh, 1 second, Your Honor.
All right. He came in security.
Security told him it was at C. He sat outside of C.
So, counsel, part of the confusion may be that, and I don't know if you heard my staff, on the 13th, there was a judgment issued.
Yeah.
That may have been where it was left off for you.
Right.
And then what we found out later, it was a Zoom hearing. He had come down to the court.
Right.
Sat outside the court, because
Right.
that's where security told him. Bizarre for them to do that, but they never told us he was out there.
Well, we were sitting outside and the door was locked, and
Yes.
we'd let them know, and they said, "Oh, we're sorry," that everybody had left. So they made a judgment against us. So we didn't even have a chance. So you want me to tell my side, or you got questions?
Hold on. That's okay.
Okay.
That's all right.
No, I don't mean about the appearance, but what's going on with the eviction.
Don't hold on. Hold on one moment.
Appreciate that.
So on that data, the 13th, there was a judgment issued for $974.
Right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I don't believe our office got notice of this hearing, so I don't have a current ledger. I would
Got it.
assume that the balance is still $974, since that
There
judgment.
might be a late fee or something else in there if he hasn't paid.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
But it would be around the same, since
same amount.
in,
Okay, that's what I was figuring that we were gonna be. All right. So for right now, we're gonna say you owe $974.
Yeah. I tried calling them to make a partial payment to ease it till we come up with something. They hung up on me.
Who?
The manager in the office.
Okay.
So I don't know. We've got an running feud with that place for years. Last year they lost one of my checks because it's night deposit, and they claimed they didn't get it. Well, it takes 6 months or more to track down a money order. So recently, since I got a lawsuit against them, they claimed it again that I lost it. So I paid last year twice on 1 month, and they want me to do it again. So
Right.
my health is bad. We're selling the place, moving. I've got stuff in the driveway for an estate sale. They're mad about that. And just to keep up with my money, I sold my lawnmower. And the woman said, "Oh, I could borrow it back." Well, that's been tough. But anyway, so I'm caught in the middle of all this stuff.
Okay.
And hopefully we got people looking. We're going to sell it soon. But
Okay.
I'll even pay for the new people coming in a month just to satisfy them.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If it's $974, when do you think you can get that paid?
Probably when we sell. I've got some money coming in SSS in July,
Okay. So when do you get that?
toward the end of the month. So,
Oh, okay. So your check comes at the end of the month.
yeah, it's all alphabetical. So.
How does M end up in that? And anyway, never mind.
Okay.
So what happened to if you get your check at the end of the month, what happened to the one for this month?
Pay for health bills. I've been going without teeth for getting them made at U of M Dental School, and the insurance,
Okay.
won't pay for implants. I ended up having to pay, and they won't give you the teeth until you pay. So these are temporary, and I'll be talking. They may flip out while I'm talking to you, or they don't work
That's
for
so bad.
they don't work
All right.
for eating.
Okay.
And the bills I had a fall. I didn't tell you that. I had a fall on the ice. That's why I'm suing them. They don't keep the ice clear mailboxes. And I went up December 23rd to get the mail, and they were sheer black ice. I didn't see it. Got out of my car to walk up the wheelchair ramp, and boom! I can show you a picture, a big knot on my head, knocked me out. And people came to get their mail, found me there, thought I was dead, came up and kicked me. And so they helped me into my car, took me home, which is about 4 doors down, and called the ambulance to come and take me away, and I had all kinds of tests. So I've still got balance problems. It takes me an hour to get dressed, sometimes a half hour just to tie my shoes.
All right, let's do this. So if I told you had to come up, because I don't know when the sale's going to happen. Right. So if I told you had to get this $974 paid, when can you do that?
Let's say by the 20th.
Of July?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's when your check comes in?
Yeah.
Your Honor.
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Your Honor, there would be an additional $30 late fee at this point.
Okay.
So that's 1,000.
Yeah, if we add 30 to that, that's what,
Okay.
$1,004?
All right.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, so let's try to get this resolved.
Yeah.
Here.
Well, hopefully we'll have a buyer by then. So
Right.
and then I can get it done sooner. Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. So that July doesn't kick into what's owed.
Okay.
Right. At this point.
I appreciate
that.
Connor.
Doesn't mean that you still don't owe July.
Oh, no.
But what I'm going to do
No,
is
I mean, before you can sell, I got to clear that out. Yeah.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to issue a judgment for possession. I'm going to find no tribal issue after hearing.
Okay.
That total judgment amount is going to be, I think it's the even number, so $1,004.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
And you don't get any money until that check comes on the 20th.
No.
Correct? You
no.
don't have anything.
No.
Okay. All right. So I know this is way over objection of plaintiff, but I'm going to.
Yeah. My wife died a year ago, so I've lost half my income. So,
Okay. Writ date the 20th.
Okay.
When he gets his SSI check. So you can get that. If your home hasn't sold yet and you haven't moved,
okay.
I'm giving you till that date when your check comes in to get this paid.
Okay.
You're still going to owe July.
Right.
Right. But this will at least get clarified.
Yeah. All right. Very good. I appreciate your help, and thanks for listening.
Oh, absolutely.
It's all true, so help me God or strike me. Thank you for these. I tell you, I want to appear for home. Thank you, sir.
All right. You guys take care.
All right, that's it.
That's it.
God bless you guys. Have a
Thank
great
you.
weekend.
Thank
Your Honor, you
you.
would like me to submit a new judgment for that, correct?
Yes, please, if you would. I think what we'll do is we'll just do an amended judgment with a new date, the new amount.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Hello, what's your name?
I'm Carol Taranto.
Okay. And is Miss Wells here or no?
She is in the hospital.
Got it. Okay. So what do we have now as the current balance on?
Your Honor, we have rent retain of,
Go ahead.
sorry, Your Honor, we have rent retain of $3,409.44, cost of $242.00, for a total of $3,651.44. And Your Honor, after further investigation, after the last hearing, we noticed that Judith's Zoom name said Welts instead of Wells. So we did some investigation, and the correct spelling of her name, I believe, is Welts, W-E-L-T-S. W-E-L-T-S.
So it's Welts?
Yes, I believe so, Your Honor. So we're asking that we be allowed to amend that.
Is that correct?
WELTS.
W-E-L-T-S. Okay. All right. Okay. So with that amount, how,
So I just got out of the hospital myself. I will get I don't have any sick time left, but I have short-term disability that I can apply for. So 2 of the 3 weeks I can get paid for. I'm not sure how long the process that will take. I'm sure it'll be a few weeks that it'll take to be able to get some of that process in. Then also I will have some money coming in on the 3rd through the Social Security check for my mother. But we do have bills that there are other bills though that have to be paid in
no,
the time
I
too.
understand. All right. And have you contacted Hawk?
I contacted Hawk. I was turned down with Hawk. I'm trying to I'm sorry, not Hawk, the SERS. Hawk is the next one that was on the list to do it. And if there were any other resources, like I said, I just got out of the hospital, so still trying to figure out, and that my daughter was helping because last hearing I was in the hospital, so trying to assist and get resources that we can find to, find additional funds.
All right.
Permission to speak, Your Honor.
Yes. Who were you?
I'm Allison. I'm her oldest daughter. My sister Anna and I were trying to coordinate the resources. We were the granddaughters that spoke up with Judy in the last.
Then why didn't you just say something? Go ahead. No,
Sorry.
no. Now, when you said that, I recognize you now from the, okay, go ahead.
So she, I contacted Hawk, but because it was over $3,000 and they had to do an interview process, we were ineligible at the time since she was in the hospital, and then now Judy is in the hospital. I couldn't do the bridges because I couldn't get into her account without having, it's like I had her log in, but they had the verification with her phone and that wasn't accessible. Working on doing a disability claim with outside of short-term disability for work, but currently filling out that paperwork as well. But it's just been a lot of coordinating resources with in and out of the hospital. Like she said, she just got out on Monday evening. And so that's kind of where we are.
Okay. Did, when you spoke with Hawk, they talked about you being over the $3,000 if they could help at all. Anyway.
Yeah, they said it would be unlikely to be approved given the amount and the resources that were available, but they would need to do an interview process first with the tenants. So my mom and grandma, but they weren't available to do that. And so because they kind of seemed that it wouldn't be a possibility, I didn't move forward with that.
Okay. So let me ask you this. If you had to come up with $651, let's say $652, when could that happen if it could happen?
On the 3rd for the Social Security.
I'm sorry, I'm just referring to, because they're kind of
No, it's okay.
helping taking over everything with trying to figure everything out.
A lot of moving parts, Your Honor. But yes,
Yes.
on the 3rd with her the Social Security from my grandma, Judy Waltz's Social Security.
So if you could come up with it, that would be when?
The date on the 3rd.
Okay. All right. I can't guarantee this will work, but I think this is going to give you the best shot that I can think of at this point. Is I'm going to find that there's no tribal issue after hearing this matter. I'm going to grant a judgment for possession to the plaintiff in that amount of the $3,651.44. All right. So that you understand, because that's kind of scary when I say that, right? I'm trying to, as best I can, freeze that number without July kicking in. Okay, so this doesn't include July. Okay, you've got that check coming in on the 3rd. What I'm going to suggest is you try to get back to Hawk, let them know that this is a judgment, okay? That, and I'm gonna make the writ date over the objection of plaintiff, I'm gonna make it the 11th, because they're trying to work everything. They're trying, I know you guys are working hard, so I get it. And so, and let them know that if they kind of flinch at that number and say they can't help, that you have that amount, that you can get that amount, all right? This is the best that I can think of at this point, but understand, how much is your monthly rent?
1544,
1544?
and then,
Okay.
and then sewer and water too. May bring something else up at the moment too.
Pardon?
May bring something else up at the moment as well. Part of the, rent increase too was there was a break in the sewage line, and the water and the sewage went from, it's usually between 30 for one and 60 for the other, so somewhere around between $90 and $105 for the month, went up to $428 because it was spewing through the cracked pipe underneath the trailer. And I had tried to contact to get like a part of that, reduced and taken care of, and site manager changes, and I never did get any information back. Also, they were supposed to come back up and clean up all of the sewage that had spewed.
Were those
Under the
your
trailer.
pipes or theirs?
No, it's theirs. It's a rental.
Ooh.
I will say, Your Honor, we were visiting because I live in Maine, and we were visiting at the time, and it took them, it wasn't like an emergency situation for them. It took them a substantial number of days to come to the unit. So those amount of days of water flow from that area probably accumulated that large cost in terms of the service.
Council, do you see like an increase in water sewer charge along the lines that she's talking about?
Might have been April or May.
She's thinking it's April or May.
Your Honor,
Is it just one? Go
in
ahead.
April, the water charge was $198.75. And in April, the sewer charge was $132.53.
Okay. All right. Well, then it couldn't have been around then, because that's about kind of where you said it was. Okay. All right. So here's what I'll do. I'm going to do it this way. All right. It's the best that I can think of. I'm going to make, like I said, the eviction date or the writ date 11. Just by way of full disclosure, I don't know what they'll do with it.
And I just wanted to bring it up and I did send emails and voicemails and that on, trying to get it corrected and taken care of and, get.
No, I got you. But here's what I was going to say was I'm trying to freeze that number. The reality of what may backfire in this whole thing, just to let you know, is that when they ask for the ledger, July's going to click onto that ledger. And so while we're trying to get you at that $3,000 figure.
No, we can just leave that. I wasn't expecting, that wasn't like they were going to pay it to begin with. So I don't have a problem. Just not trying to address that further if that's
Okay. All right. So let's just.
more trouble than it's worth to try to.
Gotcha. Okay. So we'll do it this way. Get in contact, and also, Ms. Bauer, I don't know what funding might be available through Housing Bureau for seniors for this individual also.
I just whispered to this individual that they might want to contact. Unfortunately, Your Honor, I deal with the clients that have small children in the house. Those are the referral or the funding sources that I really
No, I got you.
knowledgeable about. So SKIP is kind of a new thing that I became aware of. And I believe that Housing Bureau for Seniors is helping someone else that I'm connected with get that fund. That's what made me think of it today.
All right. Very good. So we'll get you that information, and maybe that'll help. I mean, and I by no means am implying that you would even qualify for Housing Bureau for seniors. I'm not gonna even say that, all right?
I think that's not,
Okay, all right, so we'll leave that where it is, okay?
okay,
You guys have a blessed weekend.
all
Thank you
right.
very much.
And then do I do this next steps?
So I've done this, so
Right.
your next steps would be to get back in touch with Hawk
Right,
and
yes.
also the information that they give regarding Housing Bureau for seniors.
Okay, but as far as court though,
No more.
no more court, okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank
so
you,
much,
thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Your Honor.
Oh, okay, hold on. My court liaison officer sent a message. Are you guys family members of any
Oh.
veterans?
Oh, I'm glad. Yes,
Yes.
you mentioned that. Her.
My dad was, and her husband is. I don't know if that makes a difference.
I'm not on the list.
Pardon?
My
You're not
father,
on-
my
you're
father,
not-
my father was a veteran.
Pardon?
My father was a veteran, Air Force.
Father was a vet. Ask Amy, is that, or she can come on screen.
Your Honor, good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
I just
Good
wanted to remind last week that we had there may be a possibility of reaching out to vet services. I just wanted to remind them again, if they'd forgotten to follow through on that.
Oh, okay, so you talked to them about that.
That's correct.
Did you, go ahead.
I remember that. I'm glad she brought that up because we were looking into it, but we are having trouble locating the supporting documentation, his social security and his paperwork to bring to the VA to verify that he was indeed a service member, unless there's ways that they could find it on their end, but I thought
They should be able to find it on their end.
Okay.
Okay, all right, so follow up on that, please.
Okay,
Okay, thank you, Amy. All right, guys, take care.
thank you.
Thank you. Northfield Estates versus MLO. That matter's dismissed on plaintiff's motion without. Hello,
Hello,
what's your name?
Melissa Cole.
All right, and where are we on this case?
Well, today,
Hold on a moment, let me get the
oh,
balance. No, it's okay. It's okay. What's the balance currently?
Your Honor, the total rent to retain is $2,839.00. Cost of $186.00 for a total of $3,025.10.
What were you gonna say?
so, well, I originally was supposed to pay something on it today, because I'm like literally just getting back to work. I was off for 2 months. And I don't know what happened,
What's wrong? What do you mean? You don't
What?
know what happened?
about work. Well, I was wrongfully terminated, so they had to bring me back once they did their investigation.
Okay.
And so when I came back, they had to put me back in the system. So they were having to manually put in my hours every day. And some reason over like 60 out of 80 hours didn't get put in. So this is my paycheck from today. I brought it just in case you can see that it's not even half of what I usually get. So I don't have a payment today. I did put in with DHS. I have a tracking number. And so I'm just kind of waiting to hear back from them because I originally put in, but they said that they didn't get my notice. And so I spoke with the liaison. I believe her name was Amy, and I told her which I sent in, and she said it was correct. It took me a few days to get in touch with somebody from DHS, but when I did talk to someone, she said that I had, since the time had lapsed, I had to put in another application. So I did that. And at this point, I'm just
many
waiting. Just me and my 2 sons.
Okay, so the most that's gonna net you if they come through with $620 of the little over 3,000 that you have.
Yeah. See, the issue isn't that I can't pay it.
No, I got you. I got you. And I mean, what you're telling me is they messed up your check. And then, so let me ask you this, the next time you're scheduled to be paid is when?
July 11th.
Okay, all right, so you're scheduled to be paid on the 11th. What are they going, and let's presume that they actually get your hours right this time, right? What are they going to do with the shortage of hours from?
Oh, that's what I'm waiting on. if they don't get back with me, the payroll said that they'll probably contact me Monday about getting a check written out.
Okay, so to cover that.
Yeah, what
Okay.
was missing from, yeah.
Okay, and because what you had indicated is you were gonna pay 2,000,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay,
But worst case scenario, I could pay the full balance, past balance, by July 11th, if I
Okay.
don't get help with DHS.
gotcha. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do, and I thought that's what you were gonna say to me, so you anticipated my question. All right. I'm gonna, since we're coming down to the end of the month, so that we're not clicking July rent in this, okay? I'm gonna
Okay.
issue a judgment for possession, finding no tribal issue after a hearing. Okay, for the total amount of $3,025.10. Okay. Normally, you would have until the 7th to get that paid. Over the objection of plaintiff, I'm going to give you to the 11th, that Friday, to get paid.
Thank you.
Okay, because if they shorted you on that one, then it's gonna take that next check for you to try to clear everything.
Yeah.
And in between that time, you gotta eat, right?
I
Okay,
appreciate that.
okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna issue that judgment like that,
All
okay?
right, thank you.
And that, just so that we're clear, that doesn't include your July.
No,
Okay.
it does not.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
All righty, thank you.
thank you. Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Hello, Miss.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm okay, how are you?
All right. And is Mr. Pitchford good?
No, my son doesn't stay there with me anymore.
Okay.
I had to get,
That's okay. I'd rather talk to you.
thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Okay. What's owing on this account?
Your Honor, the rent to retain is $84.83. Court costs of $242.00, for a total of $326.83. That is primarily the court costs and then a late fee.
Okay. So what's the total amount? I'm sorry.
The total amount is $326.83.
Okay. All right.
Well, Judge Simpson, when I came to court on Zoom the 13th,
I remember because you were yelling at
I'm sorry. I was
No,
I got excited
I know you did.
because I'm on a fixed income as well. I've never been late with my lot rent. I've been there for 10 years. When we were without a site manager, we have one now, but at the time, Dana had said that she would dismiss the late charges because I've never been late and she could only do it one time.
Okay.
Well, by the time I went into the system to pay it, it was higher than what I had in my account. And what started my late is the system will come up error. So you can't get in to make the payment. I'm going in trying to talk to someone, but without a site manager, you get the runaround.
Okay. Hold on. Let's try to see what we can do here. Counsel, how much of that was rent that was owed? Well, it's not really going to be rent. It's going to be late fees, right?
Your Honor, there was a late fee in May that was waived, it was $55. But since that date, there has been late fees for June that have accrued.
Okay. Okay. So see how we can do this. All right. But how much is your monthly rent?
My rent runs like $657 plus the sewage and the water. I pay anywhere from $720 some because they make you pay a $10 check fee, blah, blah, blah.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're about 720, let's say 725 is your
At
monthly
least
rent
every month.
every month.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we really have here are sort of an accumulation of, well, let me ask this. Counsel, in June, well, this month, she's paid her rent or she paid, did she?
Your Honor, she made a payment on the June 7th of $790.74. So the only remaining balance is $84.83, which is comprised of the late fees.
Late fees. Okay. Okay.
Your Honor, I paid the rent on 6/5, not the 7th.
Okay, Miss Cummings?
I mean, what
No,
I'm
I
saying is,
mean, no,
it's
just listen,
when you're late,
Yo, yeah,
I just want to cry. I'm on a fix.
don't you start crying.
I'm raising a granddaughter. She's
Okay.
13,
Oh,
going to the ninth
Miss
grade.
Cummings. Miss Cummings,
Yeah,
all right, I'll tell you what,
yeah.
if you feel like you want to yell, go ahead, I'll let
No,
you.
I
No,
don't.
I'll stop everything and let
No,
you go at
I
me.
don't want to yell. I want
You-
to cry because I'm on a fixed income.
Okay, and let's do it this way, Miss Cummings.
Okay.
You're not gonna be in jeopardy of losing your housing. That's why what I wanted to make sure what I was looking at. So I'm looking at basically $85, which is really late fees of some type, right? And then I've got court costs.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm trying to do and what I need to know from you is how can you, I know it'll be tight, okay, but you gotta stay with me here.
Okay.
And that is how can you get this paid?
Sell dinners. No, I'm just saying I
Just
should.
tell me- All right, I'm gonna ask the question a different way,
Okay.
okay? When you get your check on what,
The 3rd of
the
every.
3rd,
Yes.
okay. So if you had to, pay an additional amount each month, what do you think you can pull out of that? You're not sure, are you?
I'm not because
Okay.
I pay on.
Hey, okay, all right, Ms. Cummings, hold on a moment. Ms. Bauer,
Yes, Your Honor.
through legal services magic, I don't know what that is, because I don't know what you guys do half the time. I need to find $326 for Ms.
I was going to ask if, and I just heard the tail end, I don't know what the situation is, but what's your name?
Helen,
If Helen, have you contacted Housing Bureau for Seniors?
no.
There's some skip money, I've been told, that might be accessible, if you're a senior.
Hey, I'm 69.
No, she's not. She just pretends to be a senior. All right. Oh,
So I think if you contacted Housing Bureau for Seniors and told them that you needed SCIP, SCIP money, that they might be able to help you. And if they can't, you can do an intake with legal services and then.
let me do
I'll
this
try it.
here. Okay. Counsel, if you're looking at her ledger, she gets her rent, she pays her rent every month. Because I believe what Ms. Cummings is saying. No, don't you start yelling at me.
I won't dare.
Don't you start, I'm not questioning you.
Okay.
I'm just trying to verify.
Okay.
Your Honor, it does appear that she is pretty regular with her monthly rental payments.
Got it. Okay. So I'm gonna take a chance on you. Okay. Rather than issue the judgment, I'm gonna adjourn out to my next day.
Okay.
I'm gonna let them give you that information for Housing Bureau for Seniors, see if you can come up with this 326.83.
Okay.
Because my next date is the 11th. Okay.
Uh,
So I want you to pay your July rent on time.
I
Pay whatever. I know.
Okay.
I wasn't questioning you. I'm just saying, pay your July rent on time.
Okay.
And let's see if we can find the 326.
Okay.
How's that sound?
That sounds good to me.
All right. So I'm going to adjourn this out to July 11th, 2025 at 2 p.m.
Okay.
Okay.
I thank you.
Will that work for you?
Sure will.
Okay. So they'll give you that information. And
Okay.
you know what? The greatest thing about this whole thing
Yeah.
is you get to come back and see me.
I know.
All right.
Everybody gets that pleasure. Thank you.
Now, when she said, I know she lives this way, so I looked to see if there was any irony in it.
No,
I
not
didn't
at
see
all.
any.
Yeah. And that I'm adjourning it over plaintiff's objection so that it's clear.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right.
You want-
Thank you.
Take care, Ms. Cummings.